Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it. Number one flaws, you don't know ball. We taking advantage of that. Got you Karens asking where the manager at. With no cap, no time for the amateur rap. Look, man, we got dogs all over the depth chart. Monsters on the roster. Straighten up that posture. Rooting out you imposters. Silver bullets in the chamber. And a D-line full of danger. Step back with that linebacker trigger, when he pull it, it'll bang ya. Running backs running downhill, touchdown on your IG reel. Better check the stats, buddy, it's straight facts over how you feel. Whenever I speak, I'm giving you more balls than German Village or North and High Street. And you know, the average Joe can do nothing with my flow. It's a waste, somebody please give his brother an I.O. Come on.
I told y'all before, I need to feel y'all's energy. Stop sitting on y'all hands and get this place lit. Like I said, bring the energy.
Yeah, you know what time it is. I'm raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lame. You know what time it is. I'm brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lame. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the... What up, what up, what up? You know what time it is. How's everybody doing in the dopest chat on the planet? How's everybody doing? Studley Budley, Lunatic Fringe, Stilly Matt, the incomparable Stilly Matt, Ryan Day's championship beard, all the usuals. Tamara, what's up? Or is it Tamara? Remind me. What's up, everybody? Always good to see y'all on this fine Sunday. I'm reporting live from Columbus, Ohio. My boy Funky is out west in sunny California. How are you doing, Funky?
I'm doing great, B. Moses. I mean, another weekend as national champions. I'm actually wearing my national champ right now. So, I mean, it's a good day, bro. We told you so. I mean, as we did since the beginning of the year. I think me and B. Moses predicted us to win the Natty. I was one game off in my prediction. I thought we were going to go 11-1 and win the Natty. So 10-2 win the Natty. I guess we'll take it. Or I guess I'll take it, B. Moses. So we can't be happier, bro. You know, great scrimmage Saturday. School's going great. Sports going great. Living life, you know. So, I mean, it's going amazing, bro. So I'm just excited to be here. Always grateful for y'all out here in the chat. While Ohio State recruiting's picking up, Buckeye Scoop continues to pop off. So the board this week has been amazing with all the crazy stuff. I mean, not to bring it up, but you know, like all that other rival stuff going on and all the commitments to the spring practice. Busy weekend. You would think it's the on season, you know. So I mean, can't be more excited to be here. I appreciate everyone watching, and excited to be here as always.
I am very happy to be here. For those Coming to America fans, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, super busy. Some stuff, you know, like Funky said, you just shake your head. You know, I was like, oh boy, here we go with this. But listen, Ohio State football, when it's the off season, it's really never really off, man. We always going to have, there's some dry spots here and there, but for the most part, it's always something popping and jumping and going off. And this weekend was great, man. I mean, I love the student appreciation weekend, you know, when they come in for the practice. I mean, that's just dope to me. To me, it's just a connection with the students and the fan base and the players to be able to do that. I mean, it's just dope. It's just electric. And I love when we bring in recruits during this weekend as well. How can you not be impressed? And I've heard so many good things over the years from these recruits coming in on this weekend. And this weekend did not disappoint. We got some good stuff coming for y'all. Good news coming for y'all. So it's funny, man. Shout out to my homie Dewan, who I always shout out on here. It's funny. Dewan, I think you woke up this recruiting class. About a week and a half ago, he was we were in the chat. He was like, man, this recruiting class, man. He was looking at the rankings. He was like, man, you know what I'm saying? And then boom, like literally, I think it was the next day. It was boom, 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 boom. So you just spoke it up, Dewan. You don't woke up this class, and it's only getting started because we got more coming, and we are definitely gonna get into that. But we want to talk about the scrimmage. We want to talk about some risers, some guys, making moves. Always great to hear, man. We got talent, but they got to step up and prove it. Funky, you want to kick it off with the scrimmage notes, so we can kind of go back and forth?
Yeah, totally. And to talk about the recruiting class right away, I mean, I've been saying on here for weeks now that I've been telling y'all this class is going to be special. I know for a while it's a little dry, but kids that we were recruiting like we just won the national championship. Like you remember last year with the team up north, they won the Natty, and all of a sudden the recruiting was dry, and they're saying that was completely normal. Well, turns out that's not normal. When you win a Natty, you're gonna get a recruiting. You're gonna get a recruiting bump. You're gonna get a bunch of kids that you like maybe don't expect, or kids you don't usually get to commit to your class. Because again, you're the hot brand. You just won the Natty, and I mean, I knew this. I was talking to kids. I was talking to recruits. I was talking to kids currently on the team who have a little bit of a better idea who's Ohio State's talking to, who's actually interested compared to who's just, talking to Ohio State to talk to the Natty champs, who's talking to Ohio State. So, like, even weeks ago, I mean, I was never worried. The only reason why I was a little slow is because of the change of offensive coordinator, change of offensive line coach, a change of defensive coordinator. So clearly I knew there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve to get these kids to commit publicly, but never was really worried. And I mean, and as I've been saying for a week or two now, the kids that are committing here are Buckeyes. They're not 5 stars. They're not 4 stars. They're not 3 stars. They're not kids from Ohio. They're not kids from forever. They're Buckeyes. And that's the difference between our class in 2026 compared to some of our classes in the past, some of the current top classes from, I would say, USC this year and Oregon this year. Those kids aren't USC kids. They're not Oregon kids. They're 4- and 5-star kids chasing bags, chasing playing time. But the kids committing to Ohio State, especially in this class, are no nonsense, no BS, they're no drama kids who are here to play for Ohio State, and that's refreshing. And I genuinely don't think another program in the country can really say that. The closest thing there is to that is Clemson, just because the culture they built with Dabo, and I mean, in comparing culture with Clemson's always a great thing, clearly, because Clemson is historically, as in my lifetime, a great program, 3-time national champs in my lifetime. I mean, Dabo is a great coach, no matter what anyone says. And they don't have as big of an NIL backing as other schools do across the country. So anytime you can really compare your culture to them, that's a great thing.
Yeah. I get you on the Clemson stuff. I'm not a big Dabo fan. Yes, he's won championships. He's a good coach. So yeah, I mean, just in principle of the guys they brought in, and little Clemson going from that to the championships they won. Absolutely. But it's funny, man, because again, Funky talked about why the class kind of started off slow. I mean, we're bringing in new coaching hires, and so these players need to kind of step back with their families and assess the new coaches, which is fair. So you got that. But then also you got the fact that we had to go on that playoff run. We were at a disadvantage from a recruiting standpoint because we were playing long into the season. So that's another thing that because we didn't even get to really hit the portal like that either because of that. So now, yeah, again, things are starting to pick up as time is catching up and whatnot. But yeah, bro, like Funky's saying, look, the program we have, I said last week, we have a culture of character. And these players, the Travion Hendersons, the Caleb Downs, the Jeremiah Smiths, the Will Howards, like I can go on and on, Ibuka, Sawyer, I can literally go down the roster. They're attracting like-minded, not just kids, but families. I'm telling y'all, we're going to get into this in a minute. But these families, y'all, these families are just as, if not more, impressed by this program, by this Ryan Day-led program, than even the kids. I'm telling you. and they see the genuine, the consistent thing I've heard from recruits and their families is that the brotherhood is real. Like, this is genuine, y'all. So, these kids we're bringing in aren't just great talents. A lot of them, if not most of them, if not all of them, are just great people, like with great parents and whatnot. That's a beautiful thing, man. That's just great. That's fantastic. And again, that's one of the big reasons why, I was hoping and praying Ryan Day would get off the mat and go on the run that he did, and he did, because he's the man for the job. Not only is he a good football coach, he's a great man, a great leader of men. So, and these recruits are lining up because they see it and they can tell what it is. So, but yeah, with that said, we're going to get more into recruiting, but more with the scrimmage stuff. So I know the big buzz first and foremost is Lincoln Keenhose. So he's, from everything we're hearing, I mean, Nevada Buck on BuckeyeScoop.com posted a nugget with the scrimmage update, giving more details into his performance and what he's doing. But he's stepping up. We already knew he was athletic. Okay. Now it seems like it's coming together a little bit to where he's taking command. He's showing that athleticism, but also that arm. And so there's some movement there. Now, I'm not going to overreact and just say, oh, he's a starter. That's not how that works. The great thing is that we need true and real competition. Whoever the starter is, each guy needs to be pushed, right? Not only that, you keep guys out of the portal when they have a legit shot. Not only that, going into the season, you have confidence that you have another guy that can get the job done. So this is great for Ohio State. I mean, because honestly, I just want the best guy to start. I don't care if it's Lincoln, it's Lincoln. If it's Julian, it's Julian. But it's spring. We still got the summer, and we still got fall camp. This is going into fall camp, y'all, which is a great thing. So anyway, Funky, you got anything to hit on with Lincoln?
Yes. I mean, nothing that you haven't really said, but the Lincoln has really showed up this spring, and I mean, kudos to him, because I didn't really give him a chance going into it, to be serious with you, B Moses. I didn't. Clearly, that shows my age. I probably should be a little more mature and wait on this stuff a little bit longer. But I didn't, and he's proven everyone wrong, even if he doesn't win the job. Because he's clearly competing for the starting job, and the race is really tight. It's tighter than I ever thought it was going to be. It's tighter than most of us thought it was going to be between him and Julian Sayin. But his arm talent is there. He's a little bit worse arm than Julian, but it's comparable enough where he's still in the race. And then his athleticism and his leadership in general has been top tier. And this is what we want, though. We need the worst thing in the world that could have happened was, one, both quarterbacks to be not good and have to hit the spring portal.
Right.
The second worst thing would be one quarterback to be really good and the other one to be horrible. And then we might have to hit the spring portal, to get a backup or someone. It's a long season. And last year we were very, very, very thankful that we had Will Howard at quarterback, who's a big 6'5", whatever the heck he is, big kid. Big 6'5", 240, I'll just say that. Strong kid who could, take these hits that you naturally take throughout a football season and still stay upright and really compete, and being the starting quarterback for all. Oh my God, how many games did we play? 19? 16? 16, right? For some reason, I was thinking of an NFL season, B Moses. I don't know why, but
it's almost.
Yeah, it's going to get there eventually, but not yet. But because Julian, if he gets a starting job, I can't tell you right now I'm 100% confident that he's going to be healthy the whole year. I'd be lying to you. He's a big kid, but not big. He's not Will Howard. He's not Cam Newton, Josh Allen. He's definitely more on like the smaller end of quarterback scales. And when a long season, stuff happens, bro. Stuff happens. So seeing two good quarterbacks compete for the starting job is never, never, never a bad thing. But the number one thing that I like the most about our team this year, and why I'm going to be confident no matter who's at quarterback for us is because of the offensive line.
Yeah.
The offensive line is one of the most deep offensive lines I've ever seen at Ohio State. It's way deeper than last year's team, and last year's team went 8-9 deep. This year's team 8-9, I mean maybe even 10 deep on the offensive line, all with easily startable players. All right, always screw up his name. Padilla,
Josh Padilla.
Josh Padilla. I mean, he's a fantastic player. Would start for pretty much every other team in the country. He's really showing out in camp. Even the freshman Jake Cook has been showing out in camp. And then also, obviously, you got those 4 inside guys that have been more than ready to play and have played and have showed they can play. And then you have Phillips from Minnesota, and then you have Ethan from Rice, who's probably the best offensive lineman that we have right now on the roster. It's going to be a fantastic team. And then obviously, we don't need to talk about the wide receivers anymore. We will get to one later, but the starters we don't really need to talk to because clearly we know what we got there with JJ and all of them. But the one thing that I will talk about again, and I will continue to talk about again, is Max Clare. Max Clare is going to be a game changer for this team. He really rounds out the offense. He's going to be extremely helpful for all these guys here, all the young quarterbacks, because either way, we're going to start a rookie quarterback. We're not going to start a guy who's really played real snaps before. So having a suitable tight end with the wide receiver core we have, with the offensive line we have, is a good mix. I don't want to say, I'll jinx it, whatever. Maybe I'll jinx it. It's going to be hard to fail with this offense. I'll tell you that. You can put me out there, B. Moses, and I still feel like we can beat Rutgers. I feel like we can beat Western Michigan. Like it's.
I got confidence in you, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate that. I mean, but you know what I mean. It's like it's a hard system to fail in. We always talk about system quarterbacks compared to like great quarterbacks or whatever in football fans in general. I mean, this year if we have a bad offense, that'd be impossibly bad to even think about. And I know Lincoln and Julian aren't impossibly bad. So, yeah. But yeah, great day to be a Buckeye fan. So,
absolutely. And I see y'all in the chat. Your boy LB kind of griping about some of the quarterback predictions. I think I'm pulling this up because I want to briefly address this because I can see it both ways. To Stilly's point, because Stilly was basically like, hey, it's Ohio State quarterback. We're going to talk about it. Yes. Talking about it is one thing. But there are some who, I don't know, they just go super hard. Like they just know who the star is, like an obnoxiousness, I guess, with it. And maybe that's what your boy LB is talking about. I don't mind. I mean, banter is banter. That's fine. But, basically now that Lincoln Keenholz is getting buzz, you got people already jumping on the bandwagon to try. Because here's the thing, y'all. You know what a hell of a drug is? You watch, Chappelle show, cocaine is a hell of a drug. What hell of a drug is being right or trying to position yourself to be right. So you can say, I told you so. And so people, when they hear something, they try to jump on it and say, I had it. I said this, you know what I'm saying? But listen, it's a long way to go, bro. It's spring is not over. And then you got the summer, which is still, I know they don't practice like they do in spring, but they lift, they watch film, they do, walkthroughs and whatever. And then you got the fall camp. You know what I'm saying? So it's a long way to go. I don't know. It's a wonderful thing. I knew listen, I know this is y'all probably think I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. Last year, I was very confident Will Howard was going to be the starter. Okay. This year, I mean, because there's obvious reasons that he's a fifth-year senior. He started, he's won champ, Big 12 champ. Like he had a better resume than anybody on the roster. That's a little more logical. In this case, like Funky said, both rookie quarterbacks. So this is a legit battle, which is great to hear. And yeah, nobody knows at this point. I mean, you could put your money on saying the 5-star. I don't have a problem with that, but I'm just happy that there's an actual battle, in this room. So I feel you, your boy LB. Some people go overboard with it, but I mean, our fan base, we're gonna do what we do, brother. So anyway, you got anything on that, Funky, before we move on to the next standout in the scrimmage?
I mean, not much, but like Yeah, I mean, you're right. People try to read the tea leaves a little too much. I mean, again, I'm at fault of that. I would have put $1 million in Julian Sand to be the starter going in. I thought I was 100% confident on that. But clearly, I didn't do enough research, didn't talk to enough people, or just made my opinion too soon. Because clearly, Lincoln is very much competing for the job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, mistakes happen all the time, so I'm not one to shy away from when I maybe jump to conclusion a little too fast, you know. So won't be the last time. Definitely isn't the first time. So stuff
Ryan Day
happens. Yeah.
Ryan Day's championship beer. Whoever wins, I said it. Remember that? I got you on here. Look, I put you on the screen so you could go back to this video and clip it and get your flowers, bro. But anyway, so yeah, listen, for the sake of time, we won't go over every single person, but Lincoln Kingholz was the number one guy that jumped out. Obviously, the next guy we could talk about is Quincy Porter. Quincy Porter lost his black stripe. All right. So for the uninitiated, because I see people still ask this question, what is the black stripe? What is the purpose of the black stripe? So basically, it is a way for freshmen that come into the program to earn their way to be a Buckeye. Yes, they signed. They're technically Ohio State Buckeyes, but it's a motivator. It's something to push you to come out the gate and get that stripe off. I think it's a phenomenal idea because, you know, freshmen can come in kind of lackadaisical, you know, sometimes, and you just need something else to push you. And now, like, all these guys want their stripe off. And Quincy Porter is the first one to get his off. And they showed clips and highlights of him just killing it. I mean, he was slept on already in recruiting. He's a dog. We knew he was a dog. Those who know Quincy Porter was a dog and is a dog. But when you got so many monsters on the roster, then it's like guys get overlooked. So if we didn't have put it like this, if this was any other school, just about any other school, Quincy Porter would be just like the biggest thing on campus for some of these schools, like, you know, star freshman, superstar, whatever. But he's really, really good, y'all. He has size. He will route you up. He has deceptive speed. He's big. I mean, this kid is going to be nasty. And so it's just unfair. It's just ridiculous at this point. But yeah, Quincy Porter killing it. Not a shocker. You got anything on Quincy, Funk?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Quincy, I don't think people realize how close Quincy was to being on the other side of this rivalry with the team up north.
Yeah.
I talked out of BMOS a little bit off the show because, you know, I heard some stuff that, I mean, anything to do with positive news with a team up north, I'm always going to be a little questionable about sharing BMOS. It's just in general.
Yeah.
But I really was told that Quincy Porter was going to that team. I heard he was flipping and he was going to that team, and I was really, I mean, I genuinely got me upset. I was like, wow, they're gonna get this star-studded, can't miss, rising recruit, 5-star wide receiver, and I mean, someone that really could change a program like that. He would day one be their number one wide receiver on the team. I genuinely believe that he's the best kid that they got on their team right now. He would be, but obviously didn't flip, stuck with his commitment, is a Buckeye, and man, like, are we lucky to have him? He reminds me of Marvin Harrison so much out of high school. It's almost scary, B. Moses.
Yeah,
where
I like that.
He might not play this year, but Marvin didn't play his freshman year. But you knew when Chris Archie, maybe not everyone knew, but Buckeye Scoop members knew that right when Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson opted out of the Rose Bowl, we all knew that Marvin was going to pop off. And like he did, what he caught 3 touchdown passes in his first ever, full-time game as a Buckeye. Versus Utah at the Rose Bowl was there. Fantastic game. But man, Quincy Porter reminds me of him, where you won't see a lot of him this year because the room is just, so loaded. It's not even funny, but I really do. He's taking over that backup X role. It goes in the roster in my head. It goes J.J. Smith and then Quincy Porter. on that, on that X role on the outside
Yeah.
receiver. So I mean, he's showing up, and is it a little surprising? Like, I guess a little bit, but not really. I mean, he's been working his butt off all off season. He worked his butt off all of high school. He's a star. He's going to be a star. Pennsylvania. Brian Hartline doesn't just give offers for no reason. We especially don't pay. We paid him well. We know how it works. Ohio State will pay a kid what we think he's worth, and if he's especially a wide receiver, like, we're not trying to pay a kid a ton of money or overpay because we got so many guys that just doesn't make any sense logically. But
Right.
I'll tell you right now, we paid this kid. Paid him a little more than maybe you would think, or what we've paid a kid in the past. We paid him for a reason. That's because Brian Hartline wanted Ohio State too. So seeing him pop out in spring practice and pop out in the student showcase, which I also love, I think it's fantastic. Well, just seeing these student athletes be treated like celebrities is always good luck. I mean, you saw JJ Smith. We needed a whole police escort for him, bro. So
Yes.
it's just great, and that's great to see because then recruits are there. Chris Henry Jr. shutting down his recruitment. Got to watch it. A bunch of these other kids were there. A ton of kids on campus. Got to watch this, and they can see straight up. This is like how much of a celebrity I'm going to be if I go to Ohio State, because people don't realize that. I mean, it comes with its pros and it comes with its cons. I would die that there's no position harder than the Ohio State quarterback, because you're going to be scrutinized for literally everything you do. Genuinely everything you do. Every touchdown pass you throw, it was slightly underthrown. It was slightly to the right. It was whatever, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't complete spiral. It was whatever, 5 yards underthrown. It's a yard underthrown, a couple yards overthrown. People are going to criticize you literally no matter what. So
Yeah.
but a lot of kids love that. And when you're as national brand, you're going to have to deal with it, because Ohio State's not meant for everyone, but for those who choose to be a part of it, really, I mean, they obviously step up because we've been the most consistent program of all time. So,
Yeah. Most consistent of all time is a fact, y'all. The numbers are there. But as Funky was talking, look, this is footage. This is Jeremiah Smith at Student Appreciation Day. Crazy. Like, this is like YouTube Bono type stuff, bro. Like, look at this. And it's funny, like, my wife, shout out to my wife. she's not as on it as I am. I mean, she went to Ohio State. She loves the Buckeyes, but she's not on my level. But JJ Smith is her favorite player. She knows JJ Smith. You know what I'm saying? So this dude, and he deserves it. He's earned it. So it's pretty cool to see this, man. So I wanted to share my screen with this. But Ryan Day's championship beard, you said, am I going to the spring game? Yes, I'm going to go. I've been kind of waffling back and forth just because whatever, but I'm going to go. And so whoever's going to be there, I would love to meet some of y'all. So if you're on Scoop, hit me up on Scoop. On my Buckeye Facebook page, Buckeye Sports Talk with B. Moses. Hit me up on here, whatever, so we can link up. I would love to meet some of y'all. But anyway, but yeah, a couple other names we can go on, and then we can talk about recruiting, and then we can go on from there. So Ethan Onianwa, Funky mentioned him earlier, and it's funny because, again, man, like, you hear people talk and just just give all types of declarations, and this person sucks, or this player is not good enough, or they're bombing in camp, or they're whatever. And I heard some stuff about Ethan that he wasn't really good and he was like not doing well. I forget where I heard it from, but he's doing well. Okay. Tyler Bowen has went on record saying it in their latest nugget from Nevada Buck on Buckeye Scoop, talks about how well he's doing. He hasn't been perfect, but he's doing well. Again, it's a long way to go, but that was a huge pickup in the portal. Also, Philip Daniels from Minnesota. Just on a side note, I really like his personality. If you haven't watched his interview, go watch his interview. Go to YouTube and just type his name in. He's pretty funny. He's like a funny dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm really loving these new guys, but Ethan stepping up at left tackle and doing well is huge, man. Because like Funky said, this offense goes as the line goes, and we got a lot of studs coming back. And it's funny, those studs weren't studs in a lot of people's eyes just a few months ago, but they have clearly proven themselves, and the trajectory is still there. They haven't even hit their ceiling. So it's very exciting to see what this O-line is going to do, man, as we break in these young quarterbacks and new running backs. Don't forget that. So this is very, very critical. What's your thoughts on Ethan in the line, Funk?
Yeah, I mean, I can't be more excited about the offensive line this year. I have zero worries. I know last year everyone was, I mean, not to call anyone out here personally because I don't really remember, but people were crapping themselves, BMOs, about the offensive line this year. We're not good enough. Seth can't play. Who's the offensive tackles? And you went out here and publicly said everyone be Moses. One of the first shows we ever did was talking about how good the offensive line was going to be. And how right were we? Like, sorry, not the two our own horns and talk about how awesome we are, even though that's all true. The offensive line could not have been better. Like, Cesar, a few games when we had a ton of injuries, like those back half games when we were missing Seth and Simmons towards the end of the year. I don't want to bring it up exactly. We all know what we're talking about. Obviously, those games were a little bit rough, but when the line was healthy, the line was the best in the nation. And when the line was even 4 or 5 weeks into, getting to know each other, really playing together, especially in that playoff run, it was one of the best lines that we've ever had at Ohio State. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not trying to overhype what the offensive line was. It's just truth. Watch the games. They did a great job protecting versus some of the best defensive lines in the country consistently. I mean, we dominated in the playoffs. Clearly, a bunch of people know around this area or my area that I live in and the college I go to, that I'm a huge Ohio State fan. So it gets brought up a lot. And they talk about the playoffs and they're like, wow, you really kicked the crap out of every single team you guys played. And I'm like, I know. I mean, we're clearly the best team in the nation all year. It just sometimes didn't show up when they bring up the game. They bring up the first Oregon game. And I was like, yeah, I mean, those games are clearly an outlier. And it just clearly never really made sense to anyone, because with how good our offensive line was and how good everyone else on our roster was, we were clearly the best team in the nation. And that starts the offensive line, and that's going to continue this year, where the offensive line is going to be a strength for us. And the running backs with Bo Jackson and CJ Donaldson, who I talked about a few weeks ago, really showing out in practice, fighting for that number one spot, is going to be a really good battle. And I mean, it's going to be another great Ohio State team. We're going to compete for the national title again. We're going to win. I mean, odds are we're going to win 10 plus games again in the regular season, of course. And then odds are by the time playoffs comes, we're going to be one of the top 3 teams and favorites to win the national championship. So it's never a bad time to be a Buckeye fan, but especially not now.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, it's just, look, say what you want about Fry. The recruiting, left some things to be desired and all that other stuff. But he proved that he was a developer and a good coach, because, again, the so-called lack of depth that we heard about all the time and people freaked out about, basically proved everybody wrong. I mean, again, the O-line out the gate was dope until Josh Simmons went down. And then, of course, later on, Seth went down. And the depth that we had. And here's the other thing. It wasn't just some of the struggles, yes, were injuries and trying to get guys shuffled in. But in that playoff run, and me and Funky pounded the table about this, we started catering more towards their strengths. Less zone stuff, which they struggle with, and more counter, more gap scheme stuff. We've hammered this to death, but that's what they did. They leaned into their strengths to help these guys come along, and they killed it, man. So now we got a bunch of guys coming back. It's funny. I was on Twitter, the cesspool from hell, just to let y'all know, worst platform, right? And ain't that what we voted last week? X is the worst platform. And I posted, I don't know if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me, B Moses, B Moses 30. And I posted a little graphic about Quincy Porter getting his black stripe removed. And of course, I was basically like, hey, ho hum, another monster receiver, big deal, and of course, Scum fans wanted to come and chirp, and they were just randomly just hating. And one dude was like, "Oh, receiver's great, but you win championships in the trenches." And we all looking around like, "Yeah, we just did that. We just dominated the trenches. What are you talking about right now, buffoon? What do you mean?" So yeah, bro, like we're not just the wide receiver factory. We are a line factory on both sides. We always have been. We've had some challenges and stretches, but I think we're back in business. And the guys we got coming back this year, and don't forget, Saraville won Iron Buckeye. For those who don't know Iron Buckeye, that is JJ Smith is an Iron Buckeye. Like you don't just Sonny Styles. You feel me? Like that's not just something that's given freely. So we got some dogs, man, and it's only going to get better. And I believe Bowen and these three other analysts, lineman coaches who have great resumes are really because here's the thing: the players are really just gushing about the setup. If you shout out to Dev and Mello and Sean Schrock, Buckeye boys. Listen, we jokingly call ourselves the press conference boys, okay? Because we watch all the press conferences. I know they're boring to some people, but not us. We get nuggets. And if you go listen to all the linemen, they love the coaches. They love how they communicate. They love how they're all in sync and how you got all these great minds, but yet on one accord. And so I think sky's the limit with this line this year, and that's going to be the catalyst for our young skill guys to come along, man. So yeah, I'm excited about it. What you got, Funk?
Oh, sorry, I muted there for a second. But man, these skill guys. I mean, yeah, you brought that up. How Michigan fans bring up, oh, trenches win you national championships. Yeah, I mean, like he said, we just won a national championship. So,
yes.
And we should have won more than one if we're being real. I mean, you can go back to the years and we just gone horribly unlucky than not, shoot it through the hoop and really, win it. I mean, it's hard to win a national championship. We saw even yesterday with Duke. I mean, Duke was by far the best team in the country. By far the best team in the country, B. Moses. Not even close. That was the biggest choke I've ever seen. They're the best team in the country, and somehow just fell apart. And all of a sudden, they're never going to be remembered. No one's going to remember them. They'll probably never be celebrated within Duke. They have Cooper Flagg, who, in my opinion, is, I mean, he's the top 5 prospect I've ever witnessed in my personal life. He's up there with the Zions and the Victor Wembanyama's and I mean, I wasn't even alive to witness LeBron recruitment, believe it or not. So, but he's up there and he's a fantastic player. Sorry, not to get too off topic, but I texted in a football group chat talking about the game, and I was like, wow, Cooper Flagg is not human after he just drained that 3 and then made that monster block, P. Moses, with about like 4 minutes left. And then immediately after that, the downfall happened. So I fully jinxed Duke there. But I mean, as I'm talking about, winning national championships really hard. And but we did it. And with all these other skill guys we have on our roster, I mean, the 5 stars aren't going to stop coming to Ohio State, B. Moses. It's going to be nonstop, 24/7. Just an absurd amount of talent. We're going to be talking about this in 20 years, and we're going to be very probably sad looking back at it, because eventually, the recruitment's going to stop. The well's going to dry up a little bit. Brian Hartline's going to leave. Ryan Day is going to want to retire. And all of a sudden, we're going to be back to getting, lower level, skill level guys. And that's just the reality. That's just the facts. Because right now, what we're doing is, I mean, I say it's unsustainable, but man, it's been a little bit sustainable the last couple of years. But it just naturally is. I mean, it's going to stop eventually. Like, we all know this. I shouldn't even bring it up because there's no point in being that negative. But it's going to stop. And once it stops, that's when we'll actually start to appreciate it. Because right now, we're just like, yeah, man. Like, we just got, Mylan Grand, 5-star. He's probably be our 4th string guy this year. Oh, then Brandon is Carnell, 5-star guys. Then JJ Smith, obviously 5-star guy. And then Max Clare, number 1 tight end in the portal. And just average Ohio State Buckeye offseason. Well, then Quincy Porter, and then Chris Henry Jr., and then Jameer Brown. Just an average Ohio State offseason. Just nothing special.
Bro, it's ridiculous. It just is. And real quick, to address Jimmy Jackson's comment, I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but yes, the Spiro tweet was false. It was way out of context. I'm not gonna say the person's name who posted it, but they did try to jump on it and try to say, see, but kudos to them, respect to them, that same person. They came back around, Jim, and they posted a retraction saying, hey, this was out of context. They showed the thread clearly out of context. So yeah, no, nothing on Spiro. We good, because I was thinking the same thing, like, man, if this is true, I can't rock with him, but it was not, thankfully. But again, another lesson to, if you're gonna like throw allegations or accusations at people like that, do your homework a little bit more before you put that out there, because that's some serious stuff. But we can move on, man, unless you got something to say about that, Funk.
Yeah, I mean, not shocked at all. We've seen many of that stuff happen to not just us, not just Spiro, but I mean, just this week with those rivals that we were our competing brand. Stuff that happens at all time, constantly. I mean, from Kirk to Nevada to, I mean, I'm assuming it'll eventually happen to me and you, B Moses. So just got to always take stuff with a grain of salt and not always trust what we see on the internet, because people love lying. They love hating on people. Uh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a sick world we live in where rumors like that can be spread that fast. Because, I mean, I can't lie. I genuinely, like, for a part of me believed it. And I was like, wow, that looks very deeming and very horrible. But just a small thing, like a little bit cut out of a screenshot or of a fake tweet, and all of a sudden, like, it's so easy nowadays that you really gotta, it's hard to believe anything you see. So,
Yes, this is very true. Because listen, y'all know I do memes. I do graphics and memes, and I'm telling you, it's easy to make a fake tweet. Like I can make a fake tweet in 3 minutes. Like, it's not hard. So yeah, I mean, I try. You notice I just don't be popping off. Y'all know me. Y'all follow me. I don't be saying stuff unless I got it or if I know it or did my homework. Y'all know that about me. And because it's like, let the facts come out. And the same thing goes with the whole beat rumor, with some couple of cats from the Buckeye beat. You ain't seen me pop off about that, because it's like, let's wait and see the facts, and it's still ongoing. But people are just too busybodies and gossipy and just quick to just be ignorant and like, dude, chill, like, be a grown up. We got too many immature children on social media who just be saying stuff. And again, most of these people would never say it in your face. And so that's what irritates me even more. Some of the stuff that they say, but whatever, people going people.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, let's talk about that for a little bit. I mean, even when I just saw it, my first reaction was to, I mean, I'm or 19-year-old kid, was to, jump on it and really put these guys down, because I'm not, it was objectively kind of a funny thing and easily to make fun of. But once I actually started talking about it and realizing, I was like, wow, this is just completely fake, and stuff like that can just spread that fast. And I was like, wow, I really need to, take a step back and look at everything before. I mean, because everyone's guilty of it eventually, be Moses. So it just, you just never think it's going to happen until it actually does happen. You're like, oh, wow, maybe I jumped to a conclusion a little too fast or whatever. Because, I mean, clearly I would love to poke fun and make fun of that rumor. And it'd be slightly funny if it was true. But yeah, sometimes you got to be a little mature and step back and look at the big picture and just realize, go through the facts before you jump to your conclusion,
yeah,
or
yeah, no,
especially on
no
the internet.
doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, and look, I mean, listen, the elephant in the room. We know we're talking about Berm and Austin Ward. We've all heard the rumors and all that other stuff. But even it's funny, man. And I had to correct a few people online because people hit me up like, man, this rumor started with school. I'm like, no, you got some idiot on another board that's impersonating the Oracle from Scoop, got people thinking Scoop started the rumor. But on the flip side, Nevada and Kirk, their first reaction was like, yo, we don't like, let's let this play out. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the facts come out. They were like, very charitable about it. And so, I mean, somebody always trying to throw a jab at Scoop, man, whenever they can get a chance to. It is what it is. But But yeah, man, that's all. That's all I ask and plead with people. Know we're not perfect, funky. We're human. But some of these folk, it's one thing to slip up every now and then or just jump the gun. But some of these folk don't care. They just be ready to pop off. Facts be damned. No facts be damned. As long as they can pop off and troll. And so it's just like, man, just shut up. Like people be like, they end up looking stupid, but they still won't man up to it. They'll just go trolling on to the next thing. But anyway, man. So it's all good. Let's talk about recruiting, man, because we have 45 minutes, and I want to make sure we hit on some of this recruiting. And I see the super chats. I'm definitely gonna get to those in a moment. But so yeah, let's talk about this. First of all, the recruiting visit this weekend, was dope. Lots of great news with that. But let's talk about this possibly incoming 5-star boom. And I want you to lead the charge in that, Funky. What you got on that?
I mean, it's happening. That's all I got to say. It's happening. Womack, I mean, he's going to be a Buckeye.
Somebody post that GIF.
I mean, Scoop was the first people on this, Scoop and Buckeye boys. We've been talking about this for, a while. I mean, Womack's a Buckeye. I don't care how much, or the 2 top 40 commits, safety committed already. Those are 2 guys that really completely different positions than Womack is. I mean, that's a Lathan Ransom and a Sonny Styles, and you're comparing him to Caleb Downs. Womack is Caleb Downs. He's gonna be a Buckeye. I cannot be more confident saying that. It is 2025, so clearly stuff happens. Whatever. I mean, it's only official when you sign pen on paper. But from the people I've talked to, from the podcasts I've listened to, from the information I've gotten, there's just it would be if I would say anything else besides for Womack is a Buckeye, then I'd be lying to y'all. You know what I'm saying, B Moses? It's like, yeah. It's the only opinion I could have, and it's the opinion I do have. So he's going to be a Buckeye. He's committing. I got word today of another silent commit. I'm trying to dig a little more into that since I've had an extremely busy day today. So really trying to jump around and see who that is. I know that running back from Ohio is going to commit for sure. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name because I'm just going to butcher it. His first name's F. His last name's H. So you guys can look it up. We're the only running back we offered from Ohio this year. 4-star kid. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, B Moses, but you can if you want, because I'm just going to butcher it. But great kid. He'll be one of our 2 or 3 running back commits in this class. And yeah, and then I'm going to butcher this guy's name again too. But Sincere Johnson, linebacker out of Ohio. He's gonna be here. He's gonna for sure be a Buckeye as well. So it's gonna be a great class, and it's all gonna come slowly coming, and it's gonna be great. And I don't see any of these guys decommitting unless they're really forced out of the class, because again, they know what they're getting themselves into. I mean, they're very upfront. They've talked to Oregon, they've talked to Texas, they've talked to these big NIL schools. They know that they're maybe missing out on a few 50K or a few 100K going to Ohio State, but they're willing to do it because, again, they're here for different reasons. They're Buckeyes. That's why I told you at the beginning of the show that we're getting kids to commit here because they're Buckeyes. They're not, they're not 4 or 5-star kids. They're not kids getting paid $100,000, $200,000. They're Buckeyes. So that's the only real way I can describe it. And that's thanks to Ryan Day and the staff for really, really pressing that message. And thanks for the kids for winning the games too. Because if you don't win, then people don't want to be Buckeyes. But if you win and you have the best winning percentage since World War II, and you have, you're the national title favorites for next year, you're hosting Texas week 1. We can talk about how bad that is for national champions' hopes, but for a recruiting standpoint and in general, a big brand standpoint, it's great. You get to play the best non-con games. You get to play in the biggest regular season game of the whole season. Obviously, I'm talking about the game, and then you get to play in the playoffs When's the last time we would have missed the playoffs, B Moses? It would have been what, 2011? About
You said that we would have missed? Yeah.
would have, yeah, like 2011. So pretty much my whole life we would have made the playoffs. So you can pretty much sell to these kids that you're going to be in the playoffs every single year,
It's
every
crazy.
single year, and that's insane. No other program in the college football can really say that. So uh, the fact that we have all this backing us is just going to create, I mean, so much momentum. I've talked about it. I wrote a nice little article about our blog about the 6 comfortable truths about Ohio State football under Ryan Day. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to spoil it because that's just for people who are on the board. But I'll tell you right now, they're very comfortable and very just they should make everyone feel good, bro. Because as we're all very passionate fans, and we're all very invested in this team, so it's it's a good spot to be in because it's not always going to be like this. But man, is it like it right now, and is it going to be like this for the foreseeable future?
It's always going to be like this.
Yeah,
Always. I'm going to
always,
be in a
never.
rocking chair at 93 talking to my great grandbabies, talking about playoffs again, Junior or whatever. But yeah, thanks, Brass Tax. Favorite Aki. Stop that Aki before I send shots to your body. Benny Single verse. The real heads know. But Aki, favorite Aki. Yep. So real quick, I got the picture up of Walmack and his pops, CJ, and Matt Guerreri. Or is it BJ? Is it BJ or CJ? Dev, uh, hit me on the chat. I don't want to mess his name up. No, it's BJ. I think it's BJ. But anyway, listen, another plug for the Buckeye boys. Shout out to Mello, Dev, Sean Schrock. Yeah, there it is, BJ. Everyone, look, they did a Dev and the Pops Pod had BJ Womack on the pod a couple days ago. Great, great, great show. Again, Buckeye Boys with a Z. Go to the YouTube and subscribe. All right, phenomenal content. So they interviewed him, and listen, this dude, even without the inside intel of feeling like he's a Buckeye based on that, you watch that pod. I mean, he is a Buckeye. Like he lines up perfectly with the culture. I mean, no nonsense, faith-based. What else? Basically, no nonsense. He's not like super NIL driven. You gotta buy me off. He's basically talking about, hey, son, like, let's not waste people's time. And I mean, very mature, level-headed guy, just like most of our other parents, just like Petty John's pops, just like Daniel Sanchez. I mean, just great people, y'all. And so it's just Buckeye written all over him, and then check this out. He got to meet Caleb Downs, obviously, this week, and I saw a couple pictures he took with him. And so not only that, he got a front row seat to get, shown around by freaking Caleb Downs, the guy that is his comp. Because for those who don't know, he's not just a safety. His comp is Caleb Downs, y'all. They want to bring him in to play that role to where you can use him not only as a safety, but as a walk-up linebacker. You could a hybrid. Remember what Nose did with him against Tennessee and throughout the playoffs? That versatility that Caleb Downs has, that's Walmack. He's a certified dog from a great family. And so anyway, when y'all get a chance, watch that interview on the Buckeye Boys channel. Great interview. But yeah, I think he's a Buckeye. The question is how soon? And that is a huge get, y'all. Huge get.
Yeah, I have to shout this out again because I've talked about it before. I mean, it's very obvious. When stuff are facts, I have to talk about it. The best podcast that isn't directly on the Buckeye Scoop channel is the Buckeye Boys Pops podcast. It just is. To me, it's undeniable. Those dads are, I mean, they have some stuff that you'll never even think about. You'll never think about because, I mean, 99.99% of us don't have kids that are, high 4-star, 5-star recruits. It just, like, we could talk about it all the time and we can think about it, but you don't really understand how they feel and what their process and what their thinking is until you're in their shoes. And they give us as good of an idea as what's like to feel like in their shoes as you can ever feel. And it's just, I mean, it's knowledgeable. There's so many good things I can say about it. A lot of podcasts, you feel like you're just kind of listening to super fans, but when you listen to that podcast, you feel like you're learning. And that's the way I want to feel when I'm listening to something like you're gaining information and learning new stuff. And that's if you want to be a smart fan, bro, listen to that podcast. It's I mean, undeniable. It's fantastic. So got to shout out to them, and yeah, and shout out Womack and his dad, because again, Womack knows who he knows he's Caleb. His dad knows he's Caleb. This is not some hidden secret that I'm just talking about. I'm not telling y'all that these two, like, not to worry about these safeties committing because I'm just saying it so y'all don't worry. I'm saying it because I know. I'm saying it because I know stuff, and I know that this is not at all affecting Womack's commitments, and I know that they're recruiting Womack for a completely different role than they are, like the other safeties that have already committed. So it's absolutely nothing to worry about those other safety commits. And actually, let's stop. I'm gonna stop worrying about it. I'm gonna be very happy about it. The two safeties we got, B. Moses, absolute superstars, studs, both outside the state of Ohio. We got a Louisiana kid and a South Florida kid. We're about to get a Mississippi kid. I mean, pinch me, B. Moses. You're telling me we're gonna get a kid from South Florida. I think South Florida, Mississippi, and Baton Rouge. What is this? Like, we must be cheating, B. Moses. Like, they're like genuinely, no. Yeah. Although, like, genuinely, like you would think we have some like insights on some churches in there, like that's what it would feel like, or like, because that's never happened on Ohio State before, and still hasn't happened. They have not signed yet, but man, are we lucky to be fans, because I mean, to be honest with you, I was even surprised when I'm forgetting his name, but the LSU kid committed. He committed around 8 a.m. my time, and I woke up. Blaine Bradford.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I woke up to it, and I was like, I obviously heard rumors about him really liking Ohio State, but I mean, I was surprised. I was like, what? And I woke up to it, and I had 20 missed calls and 7 different missed text messages, and I was like, what the heck just happened? But that's how it feels like being an Ohio State fan right now, because no matter how good, like, I'm telling y'all on how much sunshine I'm pumping, it's more sunshine than I'm even thinking, B. Moses. There's not enough pumping I can do for the sunshine to be,
Pump that
not
sunshine,
total.
Funky.
Yeah.
Pump it.
Oh, every Sunday, B. Moses, every Sunday.
You're such a homer. Listen, I don't care. I know you mentioned I don't care how much of a fan people are, because we're all huge fans, but you got to bring some football IQ, some logic, some sound thinking. We don't fool with low IQ fans, y'all. We don't here at the Scoop, here at the Buckeye Scoop. We don't fool with low IQ fans. So yeah, so when we show love and shout out Buckeye boys, it's because they deserve it. And so yeah, man, you want to surround yourself with people who are going to make you smarter, and all that good stuff, man. And I just love great people. So, but yeah, so I'm excited about this one, man. Not just because he's a talent, but he comes from a great family, and that's just another great family added to the fold. And then that's going to attract even more great families, etc., so forth, so on. And I want to hit a couple super chats. Thank you so much again, Mickey, for just blessing us with the consistency and support. Never, ever, ever will get tired of seeing this. It ain't even about the money. It's just about the support, man. Just showing love. Thank you so much for this. Appreciate it. And Jim Jackson, what up, brother? We gotta talk, man, about the spring game. And us hooking up and all that other stuff. We'll do that. Hit me up, text, whatever. But what's up, fellas? Any word on Aiden Harris? What's up with D-line recruiting as a whole? Concern. Keep up the great work, y'all. So I mean, I don't have anything on Aiden Harris specifically. I mean, I know what the crystal balls say. I mean, I know we're in a great position for him. You got anything on him, Funky?
Yeah, we'll talk about defensive line recruitment in general. I'll talk about Aiden as well. I've not talked to Aiden I've just heard reading the tea leaves, hearing about what other people would say. I've reached out to him. I'm hoping to get in contact with him soon. But I feel good, confident about the Harris twins. Nothing. I mean, this is not me saying he's committing here or anything yet. I mean, eventually, I feel like I'll get better information where I'll be able to tell you all confidently how I really, really feel. But I mean, I feel good about him becoming a Buckeye. I think we definitely are the leaders for him and his brother. Uh, but the people I feel way more, who I could tell you I genuinely feel confident about is Deuce. Uh, Deuce G. I don't even want to try to pronounce his last name again. I need to get better at pronouncing stuff. But I feel like he's a 4 or 5 star. He's a 5 star kid according to the rivals. But in general, consensus 4 star kid from Georgia. From Georgia, who's not doesn't even have Georgia in his top 10 or whatever, which is a little interesting to me. But I think he becomes a Buckeye well, and kind of, I mean, not to step on Buckeye boys' toes again, but they have a great show coming up. I think it's later today or tomorrow with another Ohio State defensive line recruit. Bro, let me double check this guy's name, B Moses. But
Okay.
it's why am I not thinking about it? Why am I not? Someone please tell.
You said D lineman, right? From Ohio? Or no?
It is Jackson Ford. Jackson Ford's and yeah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, Devin. Jackson Ford. He's another kid who I feel good about eventually becoming an Ohio State Buckeyes. There it is. Mello just put it in the chat. Yeah, but defensive end Jackson Ford. But those are the 3/4 guys that I'm looking for to become Buckeyes. If we start striking out on them, then I'd be a little worried. But those I'd say are targets. There's 3 guys that I like when I talk about recruiting now. I'm going to separate it into 3 squares. B Moses. I'm going to talk about targets, and targets don't mean kids that are really highly ranked. Targets are kids that I think are going to be Buckeyes and that we have a really, really good chance for. And it's like, more likely than not, like guys Ohio State really wants and feels good about. Then you have reaches who are maybe they could be lower ranked than targets or higher ranked than targets. It doesn't really matter to me, but those are kids that Ohio State are going to chase to the end, try to flip to the end. Those diva recruitments almost where maybe we don't lead right now, but we're going to try to make a big move and try to take the lead. And then there's the safety guys, or like the safety commits where safeties, I also call them safety schools, safety players where you kind of know you can get them. They're usually in state, usually a little under recruited, where they're just kind of waiting for the call to become Buckeyes. Like right when we give them an offer or like a real offer, committable offer, that's when they really want to become Buckeyes. Yeah, Jim Jackson bringing Carter Meadows. Yeah, like I mean, Carter Meadows is who I would consider a reach, someone we're going to chase to the end. Do I think he becomes a Buckeye? Not for sure, not 100%, but he could. Cause you just got to get to know these kids. If they come down to be NIL guys, then odds are we're not going to land them because we're not going to give them their best NIL package. That's just a fact. Ohio State isn't going to do that because it's not smart. It's dumb to do. So if he comes on NIL, we probably aren't going to get him. But if he doesn't, then I really like where we are. But I don't have a good feel on that as of right now.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. In other words, listen, man, business as usual, y'all. We going to get some of these studs. And for those we don't. But we always good. And it's such a beautiful thing. Mello, thank you for the 20, brother. Appreciate you too. My brothers, Jackson Ford, DN, and 2026 class will be on live tonight at 8:45. So 8:45. So after you hop off here, click on subscribe on their channel real quick. Boom. Stop by if you haven't. Subscribe. Boom. And then get ready for Kirk and Nevada, of course, coming up in a few minutes. Shout out Scoop. Deuce Gerald's on Wednesday. He's a beast. Their AD is an OSU grad. Look at that. Look at that connect. Yeah. So again, for great, outstanding interviews, especially with players' parents and recruits, make sure you hop on the Buckeye Boys. Like I said, I was blessed to be invited to help interview Epi, the kid from St. John Bosco, another great human being with great parents. I mean, it's just like it just piles on top, man. So, but anyway, I see we coming up, man. Like, shoot, we done. Time flies, bro. Like this hour went by quick. goodness. But yeah, any last words that you want to hit on before we hop off in a couple minutes?
Yeah, I mean, nothing to do with football, but just in general, again, very grateful for every single one of y'all joining the show. I mean, a great show. Big numbers for an off-season show, you know, BMO's especially one that's not related around the scandal.
Yeah.
So, big show, great interactions with the chat. I genuinely appreciate and love every single one of y'all who come here and watch us. I do not take it for granted. This is one of my best parts of my whole entire week. Super grateful because again, I can't be part of this. I can't be part of Buckeye Scoop. I can't be a part of doing the show if I don't have people that support me and what I do and what me and B Moses do together. So I appreciate you guys turning in because again, this show doesn't happen without y'all. So yes, extremely grateful. Wishing y'all the best. I'll see y'all next week. It's going to be another great, fantastic show next week. Big news is it's from what I mean, it's inevitable. It's like it's my phone is like heating up, and I'm just waiting for it to blow up, you know, because I'm just waiting for another big story to drop. And there's 3 different things I'm looking out for right now. So I can almost assure y'all that next week's show is going to be some more big news. And yeah, I mean, shout out Devin, Jim Jackson, Steely, Mello. I mean, all the boys, Troy, Ken's always here. Barb and Sean, you guys are always here. Many more of you, Robert. I notice y'all every week, and there's plenty more of you. I'm not trying to avoid anyone's names, obviously, but it's amazing. Y'all are great, and very, very grateful to be here.
Absolutely. Everything. I'm not going to belabor the point. That was a great finish. Love y'all as well. What up, Barb? Shout out to Barb. The chat lit up. Barb. When you see it, was like Barb. What up, Barb? Glad you came. And listen, ditto, man. You know I got love for y'all. Appreciate y'all. Super thankful that y'all show up every week and make this show as great as it is with the chat, man. Greatest chat on the planet. Go get y'all a sandwich. Hit subscribe on Buckeye Boys and get ready for Kirk and Nevada. You know they're going to bring some heat as they always do. Holla at y'all. Peace. Go Bucks.